Hey everyone, it's Paul with Mil-Spec Mule, and today I'm just going to show you and cover just all the handguards that we really would recommend, and we're going to go all the way from the cheapest to the most expensive. So let's get right into it. And just so you know, all these are available on milspecmule.com. Okay, so a couple of things about handguards that you should know about. We're going to talk about where the mlok slots are. We're also going to talk about the lockup system, and we're going to talk about the barrel nut material. Now, in our opinion, usually we like to see the mlok slots all the way around. We usually like to have a steel barrel nut. We like to have a good lockup system. And the other thing I forgot to mention is we like to have some kind of anti-rotational technology like these tabs. So I'm going to walk through each one of these, explain each one, and what we think about each one of those elements. And the other thing to consider is weight, and the other thing is fit and finish, how it feels. Sometimes real cheap handguards could have sharper feeling, machining, and we don't really like that. None of these will have that. So let's get started. To start off, I'm going to start with the budget tier. So the budget tier is usually going to be around, let's say, $100-ish to $125. Okay, so here's the UTG R-Win rail. Now UTG has some other rails that are similar. They have the Super Slim series and a couple other new ones that they've come out with, but these are their latest technology. Now these rails are very good for a budget build. They are not too heavy. I believe they do have a steel barrel nut, and you can see they have nice anti-rotation tabs right there, which hug against that receiver pretty tightly. Now the mlok slots are only on the sides and the bottom, but that's okay. It has a continuous top rail, and the ease of installation is really not that bad. You essentially put the barrel nut on, and then you use these screws and tighten them down, and then the barrel locks up really tightly. The handguard locks up really tightly, and it's not going to rotate also due to the design. So this is a nice rail, and we would certainly recommend it, especially if you're looking for this kind of look. But this rail is good to go. Next, we'll talk about the unbranded AR rail. So now this rail is a little bit different because it doesn't have the continuous top picatinny rail here, but it does have really nice anti-rotation tabs. It has mlok all the way around, and also this rail is using an aluminum barrel nut, which is still okay, although I do usually prefer steel myself. And then the lockup system is really pretty good. It's not going to come loose. It's not going to walk forward. It uses these 3 screws, and it uses these pieces to interlock with the barrel nut. And overall, this rail is actually really nice if you want something lightweight, and also if you want something to get a better purchase on. When you grip this rail, since it doesn't have the continuous picatinny up top, it is very nice to hold on to. And the fit and finish on this is very good, and the price on this rail is excellent. Last rail we'll talk about in the budget series is the KAK rail. So here you can see it has a continuous top rail. It has mlok slots all the way around. It has a steel barrel nut. It has the nice anti-rotation tabs, and it actually has a very beefy lockup system here, which interlocks with the barrel nut. So this rail is going to be very durable as well. It's really not going to go anywhere, and it is also a very nicely well-built, well-machined rail. And the only thing I will say is it's a little bit on the heavier side, and that's mainly because of this hardware here. It's probably the bulkiest hardware, but for the price, this is a very nice rail, and this is by KAK. And the last one we're going to talk about in the budget series is going to be this AT3 Tactical, and this is called their quad rail. Now, this is a picatinny rail, so it's not mlok. I put these little rubber grips on there just to increase the way it feels, but the machining on this rail is very nice. It is a picatinny quad rail, so there's not that many of those around anymore, but this is a good option if you are looking for a quad rail. The weight on it is not too heavy due to them machining out there and here and all these machining spots. And then if you were to get one of their uppers, it does interlock with it, which is nice. But if you didn't have this upper, these would still act as anti-rotation tabs, although I don't believe they would really hug your upper receiver as tightly as some other rails. But this is a very nice quad rail, and I would recommend it if you are looking for a nice quad rail. As for the lockup system, I do believe it's a steel barrel nut, and you have these two screws, and they will interlock with the barrel nut. And overall, I've seen some tests on this rail. I know it's durable. So if you are looking for a quad rail, this AT3 Tactical rail is very nice, and we would recommend it, and it is in the budget lineup. And the last rail that I'll talk about in the budget series, although it's on the higher end of the budget series, let's call it around the 160 mark. This is going to be an STNGR rail, so Stinger rail. Now, this is one of their rails, and it is the Hawk rail. Now, you can see it looks really cool. It has a lot of lightweight machining in it, and basically it has a picatinny rail up front here if you wanted to put like a flashlight there or perhaps mount a bipod. But the biggest thing about this rail is it just looks cool. Once it has more, if you're looking for something that looks aesthetically pleasing, a little bit different, is really going to enhance the look and make your AR look a little bit different, this is a really cool rail that'll do that. And now this rail has QD slots on it, which is nice. It has the anti-rotation tabs here, and it has a steel barrel nut, and then it has a pretty solid lockup system here, which interlocks with the barrel nut, and overall the weight on this rail is pretty good. But I know people that really love this rail, and it does come in some other colors as well, and it is a good option if you are looking for something that gives you a little bit of a cooler look to your AR. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the more premium rail options on the market, and these are going to be, priced anywhere from, let's say, the $200 mark on upwards. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see more brand name companies like Aero Precision, Geissele, and BCM, and also Midwest Industries and Ballistic Advantage. But we're going to take a look at them, and we'll explain a little bit about what might make them cost a little bit more to see if you think it's worth spending the extra money. Okay, so the first rail we're going to start off with is the BCM MCMR rail. Now, this is my personal favorite rail, and what I like the most about this rail is it's one of the most lightweight that you're going to find. Also, BCM is just such a badass name, and the most important thing is it has the lockup up here. So if you notice, all these other rails have a little bit of a dip on the bottom. This is just a straight, it's just straight on the bottom here. And I really like that look. I think it makes it look better. But these are just really premium rails. You can see just all the machining done here. mlok slots all around. You can see they do stagger them a little bit. And then even in the front, it does kind of stick out a little bit more. So it gives it a little bit of a cool look. But I like these so much because these are like really duty rails for the most part. It's not like they're the heaviest duty, but a lot of police use these and they are super nice. The lockup system here is super tight. The anti-rotation tabs are super tight. The barrel nut is steel and the lockup system is very smart. Basically, these screws cannot walk out because they look like that on both sides. And it comes with a QD mlok accessory that you can add. But overall, this is the lightest weight rail and with a steel barrel nut, and I think this is the best rail. So this is the BCM MCMR. Next one I'm going to talk about is the Ballistic Advantage rail, BA Logic rail. Now, if you don't know, Ballistic Advantage is owned by Aero Precision. And I really like this rail from Ballistic Advantage. You have the QD slots here. It uses the same lockup system that the Aero Precision rail uses, which is pretty easy to install. But you can see here, it hugs the upper receiver. So it has that anti-rotation technology on it. And it has the mlok slots all the way around. It's machined very nicely, feels really nice. But what I like most about this BA Logic rail is that it is basically like the Aero Atlas rail. It's the same exact thing, except it has extra mlok slots and it is a little bit cheaper. And also it's a little bit heavier, but not in a big deal way. Next, I'm going to talk about the Aero rail. So the Aero precision rail, this is the Atlas R1 rail, has a continuous top rail. You can see it's machined out here at the top, unlike the Ballistic Advantage rail. Now this has an aluminum barrel nut, so does the Ballistic Advantage, but this is essentially the same as the Ballistic Advantage rail. It just has a little bit more machining done to it. It's a little bit more lightweight, but the design, the lockup system, the barrel nut is all exactly the same. And you can see this one is in anodized OD green. It does come in anodized FDE, and it comes in anodized black as well. Now, people really do love this rail. They love the lockup system, how easy it is to install. I think it's very nice, although I just think it's a little pricey, and that's why sometimes I go with the other options. Next on the list is going to be the Midwest Industries Combat Rail. Now this rail has gained a lot in popularity over the years, and it's a nice looking rail. Midwest Industries has been making handguards for a really long time, and this was basically their, I think probably their best one that they've made so far. It's been out for quite a while, but the machining is very nice. You can see these little marks here. They feel kind of cool on your hand. You have QD slots, you have mlok all around, and then it has a little bit of a nice look with that little cut right there. But then it does have the anti-rotation technology there. And then basically it has a steel barrel nut. You pop this key in there and then it locks up. It interlocks with the barrel nut. It locks up good. This rail is pretty easy to install, and I think that's maybe one of the main benefits to it. I have no problem with this rail. It is a lightweight rail, although it's just a little pricey. So once I start to get in this price range, I just tell myself, hey, I'm just going to go with like a BCM rail. Last rail we'll cover is the Geissele rail. This is the Geissele MK16 rail. Now, Geissele has a couple different rails that all look very similar. This is in their Desert DDC, which is their FDE color. And this rail essentially is used in the military. If it's not this one exactly, there's a one that looks just like it. But Geissele has a built-in QD sling there. The rail is very well machined. It's very strong. And then I believe the barrel nut is titanium. And you can see it's very chunky lockup system here. And as far as the anti-rotation technology, they have that. But then they also have these set screws that you put in there, and they hug up against the other side of the receiver. So you could see them there as well. So this rail really interlocks with the upper receiver pretty good. But these rails are like $100 more than any of the other ones we talked about. So these get really pricey. And then their lockup system, again, is very beefy. In a way, it might even be overkill. A rail like this, I would say, is good if you wanted to do a super Gucci build, or like a military clone build, or if you just really like Geissele. But it is quite pricey, but it is very nice. So, I mean, you will not be upset with it, but it's up there. So, all right, guys, I hope you found this helpful. I hope you enjoyed my little overview of each one of the rails. Hopefully this could help you decide which one you want to get. And as I said, all these are available on milspecmule.com. But I hope you found this video helpful. If you still have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or reach out to the Mil-Spec Mule customer support. They're happy to walk you through all of this. And thanks for watching. And if you like this content, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we'll be producing more for you. Thank you. Have an awesome day.